Today we're going to check out Antop's paper thin SmartPass amplified indoor TV antenna. This is model AT133B. And out of the box you get the antenna. It's like a nice compact flat panel design with Antop's SmartPass amplifier hardwired right in. It's built into the antenna. And that comes with the power supply for that amplifier, some double-sided tape for mounting in a window or on a wall. And another nice feature, this antenna includes a small stand for setting it up on a table or a shelf, and these two little legs just plug into the stand's base, almost like you're plugging in two USB drives. And to mount the antenna on the stand, all you have to do is simply drop it into those slots, and now it's set up for tabletop or shelf mounting. Let's take a closer look at the SmartPass amplifier that is built into this antenna. This end here is connected to the antenna. That's all hardwired in. The other end is what gets connected to your TVs or digital converter boxes RF in connection. And the power supply is a USB type power supply, 5 volts. This gets plugged into a socket. This end simply gets plugged into the amplifier. Now you can see here that the light is green, and if I use that switch, the light becomes yellow. And this is the 2 modes of operation for Antop's SmartPass amplifier. When the light is green, that means that the amplification is boosted, and this is best for distant or weak TV signals. And switching it back to yellow, this would be best in a situation where you're close to the broadcast towers or have very strong signals, and this will help prevent overloading or over amplification of your TV signals. Now, which mode is best for you really depends on your reception situation. If you live very close to the broadcast towers or have really strong signals, then you'll probably want to use yellow mode or cutting the boost. If you live in an area with more distant or weaker signals, you might want to try green mode. But really, you got to try both of them and see which one works best for you. I would say use the mode that brings you in the most channels or the best overall reception. Besides the included stand and amplifier, there's a couple of other nice features that this small indoor TV antenna has. You can take this along and use it in an RV, or if you're camping, but keep in mind that it is an indoor antenna. And another nice feature is that there is a built-in 5G LTE cellular phone filter. So this will block out all those pesky cell phone signals that might be interfering with your TV reception. And that filter is actually built right into the SmartPass amplifier. Now, when you're setting up an indoor TV antenna, there are many more considerations to think about than when you're setting up an outdoor TV antenna. Not only are you contending with all of the potential obstacles outside the building, such as trees, other buildings, valleys, hills, mountains, you're also contending with the building material itself. Whatever your house is made of, the siding, insulation, wiring, roofing materials can all degrade your TV signal when you're setting up an indoor TV antenna. So besides those things, you also have to consider where you place your antenna indoors. Don't assume that simply putting your TV antenna beside your television or sticking it on the wall behind your TV is going to be the best location. That's probably only going to work if you live in a really strong signal area. A few tips to keep in mind when you're installing your indoor TV antenna. Try to mount your antenna on a wall or window that faces the same direction as your local broadcast towers. This will ensure your antenna is exposed to as much TV signal as possible. Another way of making sure your antenna is grabbing as much signal as it can, try to mount it up high, either with a piece of double-sided tape, a thumbtack, or if your antenna has a stand, put it on a shelf as high as possible. Now you're going to have to do some experimenting though and find the best location inside your dwelling for your TV antenna. Again, don't assume that putting it beside the TV or on the wall right behind your TV is going to be the best spot. You're going to have to move it around, run a channel scan every time you move it, and when you find a location that either gives you the most number of channels or the strongest signal, you've probably found the sweet spot in your home. The city that I live in, Thunder Bay, Ontario, is kind of unique in its TV reception situation. We only receive 3 over-the-air TV channels in this area, and Thunder Bay is kind of isolated from other cities in both the US and Canada, so it's not possible to receive any other channels from different TV markets here. Not only that, all of the channels are broadcast on the VHF band. 2 of them are on the low VHF band on RF channels 2 and 4, and one of them is on RF channel 9 on the high VHF band. Now, with an indoor antenna, that could be very tricky because indoor TV reception on the VHF band is generally not good, usually due to the fact that VHF TV stations have very low broadcast power. The stations here only broadcast with 1.2 to 4.5 kilowatts. And when you're dealing with outside obstructions as well as building materials, indoor TV reception of VHF channels can be very tricky. Unlike UHF TV stations, which often broadcast with hundreds of kilowatts of power, VHF TV stations are vastly underpowered. I tried this antenna in a few spots, including in a window that faces the direction of my local broadcast towers. Unfortunately, it was not able to receive RF channels 2 and 4 on the low VHF band, but you really can't fault it for that. Those channels usually require a larger outdoor antenna to be received, and this antenna is really a small indoor antenna designed for receiving channels 7 through 36 on the high VHF and UHF TV bands. Now, this antenna was successful in receiving RF channel 9 on the high VHF band. With the SmartPass amplifier in yellow mode with the boost cut, the signal strength hovered anywhere from the high 60s to the low 70s. When I turned the SmartPass amplifier into green mode, increasing the boost, the signal strength actually dropped just a tad, but became more stable with less fluctuation. This antenna would be ideal for anyone living in an apartment building, preferably on the same side of the building that faces the broadcast towers, or anyone looking for a small indoor TV antenna that doesn't take up much space, is easy to set up, and gives you the option of amplifying your TV signal. It would work best in a strong reception area such as a city or maybe some close suburbs. If you're looking for a TV antenna with any of these characteristics, consider checking out the paper-thin model from Antop. If you're thinking about buying this antenna, check the description of this video for a purchase link with a special discount code for my viewers.